Welcome back to your channel. My name is Brad, Supercoach Pro. Today we're taking a look at the side for the round 21 AFL Supercoach team review. It's the fourth and final review for the year, coming to an end now. So we scored 2-5-2-1, another good score. I thought it was going to move into the ranks a little bit better than this, but 8,323, we'll take it. Yeah, I was hoping that 5K rank would happen, but I'm going to have some really big scores and some carnage potentially for it to be a thing. But look, I'm pretty happy with how the side's been going the last 2, 3 weeks. Nailing the VCs of late as well, which is nice. Had a bit of a patch where I just wasn't getting the right ones or taking risks unnecessarily, not banking a 115 or whatnot. So I won't go too much detail into the players scoring per se, like individual players, but as a whole, probably just take it all on and just to see where the season really sits. So Stewart has now averaged 100 as the he's really probably D6 in the long run, and I won't be starting him next year. Dacos, that's your sort of better average. Ryan and him 116, 117, whereas Young's a flat 102, which is very much similar to Stewart, but Young's games have been sort of, your 120s and then a 70. That's why he's evened out to be that score. She's been really consistent, just had a bit of a poor week this week in comparison to his previous scores. He was everybody's, well, when I say everybody, he was the main people's captains if they went Flanders the night before. So I think this is where I got a bit of a leg up. Was looking at the Bond's score at Marvel, then seeing McRae in the twos and Sanders in the twos. I just thought, well, Bond's going to have to carry this side if they want to be very impactful. And he did, because in the last month he'd scored okay against these hard teams, but Melbourne are a pretty easy midfield matchup. And I thought, why not just take the VC on him, considering in my previous thinking that anyway. And he's probably a player that is the only player I'd comfortably start next year for 600,000, no worries at all. And now these players have come down in prices, so like they're a little bit more affordable next year. I feel like it's actually a little bit more reasonable. There won't be too many 600,000 players who need to start next year. Hopefully Dacos can stay under that mark as well. I won't be going anywhere near Houston, Young, or Ryan next year, but definitely Sheasel and Dacos are locked for me, and the rest I'll just work out. Hopefully we get some better defender rookies next year too. That would be nice. Bont was huge for me. Really huge in terms of a little bit of ranking boost and not falling behind again. Then Butters 132, it's whatever. Sarong 102. So they've been very similar picks. I bought them in round 3. So Sarong's probably fallen off, but it's correlation between Brayshaw doing well as well in the last month or two as well. So could have picked him instead of Rao, but instead of Merritt when I traded out Rao, but I decided to go an Essendon player as opposed to another Freo and loading up on too many of the one side. And then Steele just crawled his way to a 99. I would have been late in that quarter, finally got some points. So he's been okay without being amazing. And then Tom Green, I suppose for the price, look, I paid, $4.90 for him. He's been doing okay since I bought him, and he's a 119. And then Rosie was the side and doors moment when I got rid of Clayton Oliver, which is a pretty good trade, to be honest, now that Rosie's been scoring pretty consistently on my side. He's probably had one poor game. McKercher was the player that I just haven't been able to get consistently on the park, and I've had to run like a Dowling or Manor. And luckily each week when I have in that M8 position, I've scored like an 80 and haven't lost me too many points. This week he came through hard. Like if I hadn't have had McKercher playing, I would have lost 70 points just in that one pick. So yeah, McKercher came on. I looked him just in case he was sub or going to be subbed out at halftime or whatever. So yeah, that's really nice in that midfield again, just as a whole, instead of looking at as individual players. Like defense, they all scored above the ton, and so did the midfield bar Steele by 1 point. But let's just say everyone scored 100 there. And then forward line, that's where it sort of came undone. But ruck line is pretty good. Cherry, I'm probably going to start next year as well. And I picked him over Grundy a couple months ago, and that's been a really good pod move. And then, yeah, look, forward line, is what it is. I mean, Flanders finally went under the ton for the first time this year. Zorko, it's whatever. I mean, you didn't probably see much ball back there considering St Kilda got smashed. Heaney's fallen off a cliff. Like, we've seen this in seasons where he's had really good starts and then just come home just I don't know, not the same Heaney as the first half. It's probably to do with players coming back into that side, such as Parker, etc. And then you've got other players that want to play through there. So it's a pretty deep side and just getting smashed as well the last couple of weeks. So because he's getting smashed, he's probably not getting much of a score. So if you're getting pumped and you're 70 points down by half time, haven't scored or whatever, what do you expect from Heaney? He can't do everything. Jackson, yeah, had a hot start, like a 50-point first half, and then did more -2 in the last half. So it's pretty poor. Probably more of a reflection on how Freo finished off that game. 5 goals in front, and then they just lose that. So, and Kerno, I'm hoping he bounces back because you can't carry players like that. Like that could have been a 2-6 week if Jackson and Kerno scored decently. And Mana over Dowling was a good shout too. Went Mana just because he's a forward flanker sort of role. Knows where the goals are and picked him to play against Adelaide as opposed to Adelaide midfielder. I thought at the Cattery it's probably worth chucking Mana at F6, and he's been a really good pick. Over that Philippou bad luck situation about a month ago, it was him or Philippou, and if Ada went Philippou, it would have been a few donuts there and ranking drop again. And then, yeah, of course, I used Campbell Gray, who's injured, as a nice loophole there to bank that 182, or else I probably would have went cheese or cherry there. So yeah, look, the side's been okay of late. I haven't hated it. I mean, I've been between 35,000 and what 8,000 or whatever it's been this season. So it's been just a bit sort of floating in a bit of a nowhere land at the moment, no man's land, just like not killing it, not doing great, but not doing really bad either. So it's a weird feeling this year. Last year was like a comeback story, like 100,000 starting rank and clawed my way into 6,000. Year before was like just really consistent and finished 1,200, but had a good starting side. So there's lessons learned over the last 3 years, and the more you do live streams and just team reviews, you sort of get a better idea, but then you make mistakes elsewhere the season after. So we can just all combine everything in the last 3 seasons and make it one whole lesson to learn. I might be able to get a good finish and maybe to make that top 500 would be nice thing to have in feather in the cap, so to speak. So this week, what we're going to do, what are we going to do? I'm coming off a live stream, so I'm feeling a bit exhausted. I went up to Orland as well today, so bit of a mission outside the waterfall, but early days, and probably just going to go a VC on Cherry against Bailey Williams. Cherry just looks unbelievable as a player in general. I don't know if Yo or someone like that will go to Sheasel, but I think I'm just going to back in Cherry. And then captain wise, who would I go after that game? Who am I confident in? There's probably an obvious one here. Melbourne's midfield got smashed in terms of Bont going nuts. Trawl went nuts as well. It's at the MCG. And Porter turned around. They just absolutely smashed the Swans. So early days, Essendon Merritt against Mar. Yeah, that's interesting. Merritt at Marvel would be interesting as well. And you got Bont against Adelaide. Maybe just as simple as Cherry and Bont. Don't think I'll touch Flans. Anyone in my forward line, no. Sarong, no. Just a huge drop off of late. Butters, you can get tagged every now and then. Dacos, do you go Dacos? I don't think I really care about Dacos this time. I think I just want a few pod options, to be honest, to finish off my season. I think that's the way I'll go. What did he do against Swans? 135. Is that the SCG though? So it might be different. I can't see their history now that I don't have gold Supercoach. So it's a little bit frustrating. What did Bont do against Adelaide at the start of the year? Has he played them? I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Watched too many games in the early part of the season, I reckon. What's he done against Adelaide? Has he even played them? He has not. So maybe with Supercoach Gold, I can find out, but I'm not paying for that for the last 4 weeks. And I think Cherry has played West Coast this year already. I reckon it wasn't that long ago, to be honest. Give me something, Cherry, because it's gone through nothing. Yeah, 131 at Optus. So, and this time he's got it at Blundstone. What did he score at Blundstone this year? Venues 103, 119, 151. Yeah, all right. Let's definitely go VC Cherry. into C Bontempelli just because he's been the mainstay, consistent midfielder all season, basically. And that's pretty much the video. Just a quick one, really. I don't really want to talk about individual players because you can't really do anything about them. I mean, if we're looking at this far, I'm hoping Fisher comes back from injury so I could at least loop Fisher. You can't even loop Fisher though. Richards is that Friday night game. That's a pain. Look, if Fisher's named, what do you do? You might play him over Jackson, but you can't trust that he gets subbed out or whatnot. So maybe I have a look into that if he gets named on field, see where he's named. If he's named on bench, I won't even look at it at all. But at least that game's before the 4:35 game, so maybe I can have a look at it last minute. Hopefully he's back because they were really bad down in their back line. Like Stevenson's just that bad. Surely he comes back if his foot's okay, but feet are pretty tricky to get right consistently. So yeah, I mean McKercher come in clutch here as well as M8. Like I didn't have to pay up for him, and he's turning up. So take that. Not the most amazing M8, but that will do. That's the video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys watch the stream with Damo and I. Damo's obviously from Supercoach Edge. It's good having him on. Loved it. My internet stuffed up the first time, so we did a take two, and it was good just to, finally have him on board, and we'll do another live, I'm sure, at some point as well. And really enjoyed that. So thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks for just watching the whole entire season and just the consistent comments and jumping on the live streams. And I know I haven't done as many live streams of late just because everyone's out of trades really and there hasn't been a lot to talk about. But yeah, look, I'm still waiting for that round 24 fixture to sort of give you guys notice on when I'll be out in Melbourne, what game I'll go to, and then go out afterwards and whatever. And, meet some of you guys that have been contributing for the last few years and just throughout the lives since I started doing lives in March, April this year, whenever I started doing live streams. So thank you for watching. If there's any sort of day you want a live stream to be done, let me know and I can do this week. I've just been under the pump for a house inspection that I had end of last week. So thanks again for watching the Orange team. I'm going to have a new team name next year and probably have a bit more of a better plan and take more risk and start with a riskier side going next year and look for pod players rather than just a cookie cutter team. So we've been going okay. Really enjoyed what's been going on in Supercoach this year in terms of the people I've met on the lives and collabing as well, which I'll be doing a lot through the off season and next season as well again. So thank you for all watching. Give us a like if you enjoyed as always. Peace out. Catch you on the next one. I still will do a Supercoach preview. I'll make sure it's not a 60-second one.